as we get to the final Makos, and Moshe Rabbeinu is having a back and forth with Paro as to how exactly is this going to unfold. Paro seems to finally be willing to give in a little bit, but not all the way. And we know that Hashem is being mechazek, is hardening his heart, so it's not really in Paro's control. It's very hard to understand exactly what's happening. But one of the questions that Paro asks Moshe is, Mi vami hahochem? Who is going? Who is going? And the depth of that question is something that needs to be understood. There are those that explain that Binarenu Bizkenenu Nelech, that Paro didn't see the value in sending the children, and Moshe Rabbeinu understands that no, the children are our future. We need to go with everybody. But there's a Medrash Pliya, there's a fascinating Medrash that seems very difficult to understand. And the Medrash finds a hint in the Mi Vami to a different pasuk that includes the word Mi. Mi Ya'alev Har Hashem, Umi Yakum Bimkom Kodsho. From the David Mizmor, we say we pray the Sefer Torah, we stress on the Yamim Noram. Who is going to go up to the mountain of Hashem? Umi Yakum Bimkom Kodsho, who can stand in the place of His holiness? On the surface, they have nothing to do with each other. Why would the Medrash, again, be putting these two ideas together? What is the depth of the Medrash? That's a beautiful explanation. That Mi Ya'alev Har Hashem Yakum Bimkom Kodsho is that Mi Vami Hochem, who are the ones that are going to be holech. Our task in life is to make sure that we are always hochim. That's the difference, as many explain, between human beings and between a malach. A malach is an omeid, a malach stands still. But people, we have the responsibility and the opportunity to be holech, to keep going on and keep moving forward. And the question is, Mi Alev Har Hashem. So first, who is going to take moments of inspiration and make sure to use them as opportunities to go up? Because we all have those moments when suddenly we have clarity. When something happens and it just gives us a drive and a push and we want to do more. But those moments are insufficient. It's not just Mi Alev Har Hashem, but it's Mi Yakum Bimkom Kodsho. The question is, how do we retain it? How do we make sure that we're going to remain Mi Yakum Bimkom Kodsho at that place of elevation, at the place of growth, at the place that we managed to achieve, and that those moments of inspiration that we have in our lives are not just fleeting. That's the miva miya hochim. Again, al derech hadrush, but again, that's the idea that perhaps Chazal are trying to highlight. That Paro doesn't understand that every person's responsibility is to try and grow, and to try and push oneself. And then when you have those moments, when you have some sort of clarity, and you feel like you have a bit of aliyah and a bit of growth, what are you going to do with them? How do you make sure to preserve them miyakum bimkom kodsho? And it's not easy, but maybe it's something to think about. We've had the opportunity over the last few weeks, hopefully, to either be away, have a less busy schedule over the course of the January vacations. And as I've mentioned before, to try and use those moments to try and pick something that inspired us, that pushed us, that gave us a little bit of clarity, and then figure out, how do we hold on to that? How do we make sure that when we move forward and we go back to the daily routine, it's Mi Yakum Bimkom Kodsho, whether it's something in learning or something in our davening, something in our chesed and how we relate to other people and how we speak and the words that we say. I was somewhere this past week with one of my children, and to see from people, the language that they used was absolutely appalling. It was a definition of a Chila Hashem. And people think, oh, I'm just trying to fit, whatever. There's no reason for a Jew, for anybody, to talk with filth in one's mouth. And it affects one's feelings. How can the same mouth that spews garbage then be used for tefillah? How is that possible? How is that possible? And again, it's moments like that we realize that we have to do more. We have to be those that can represent and those that can stand for what Torah is about and stand for what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to be. And we have to sometimes take a step back and think, where can I improve? What can I do differently? How can I talk differently? How can I learn? How can I daven? How can I do chesed? Whatever it is. But it's mi v'ami ahochim. What can I do in order to be a holech? In order to continue to grow and to thrive, and then make sure mi yakum bimkom kodsho, to make sure that we stand at the heights of where we are, and that everything that we've achieved is something that we are able to hold on to.